Tonight on the R.Y.T show on record.
Mayaman ang Pilipinas noon through Sulu, hindi pa kasama ang Visayas and Luzon dyan.
That was before the Spaniards.
Before the Spaniards, hindi pa na-discover ang Pilipinas by the Castilla. Centuries na ang Chinese trade and residency in Sulu.
Saan galing sir yung pancit?
Sa China, inimbento, one of the, sa tingin ko yan ang one of the great wonders of the world. Better than Huawei phone or Honor. Kasi pansit araw-araw kailangan ko eh. Gusto ko yun eh, natutuwa ako. Isa pa.
Better than BYD.
Oo, BYD kasi.
The story about lumpia.
Symbolizes the ethnic Chinese presence in the Philippines na part of Filipino society na.
Yes.
Ang tingin ng mga Chinese community members sa Pilipinas, para kaming Bisaya, Ilonggo, Tausug, para tayong isang tribe ng Pilipinas.
How about should government fund culinary diplomacy?
Brilliant question by J.B. Arsenas. Alam mo, walang biro. Thailand, hindi alam ng maraming tao.
Yeah.
Sumikat ang Thai food, hindi by accident. Government policy yan.
Welcome to the R.Y.T show on record, Mr. Wilson Lee Flores. Welcome back to the R.Y.T show on record. Again, kasama pa rin natin si Sir Wilson Flores sa ating pangatlong episode. Kasama siya.
Uy, once again, congrats sa'yo
Opo,
Ang
thank you.
dami kong nakuhang feedback.
Yes.
Ang dami kong from all over the world
Wow.
Grabe na watching this show mo.
Wow.
Congratulations sa ginagawa mo.
Okay, of course, ang laki pasasalamat namin sa iyo, sir, because ikaw yung ikaw yung biggest breakthrough. Dahil sa'yo, nagkaroon kami ng biggest milestone.
But because of you, na super talented.
Thank you so much, sir.
JV, super
Anyway,
talented.
sir,
Yes.
dahil nga po sa ating in demand o dahil sa ating trending or viral episode, marami po ang katanungan ng ating mga kababayan.
Anytime.
Basahin ko muna.
Yes.
Una,
Paki-acknowledge yung full name nila.
Basahin ko lang po yung mga nagkomento sa ating show bago tayo magtanong o bago po tayo dumako sa mga katanungan.
Alam mo, dumami follower ko sa Facebook din dahil sa interviews mo.
Wow, me too,
Oo,
sir.
dumami. Nagulat ako.
Ito, may mga comments, sir, Basahin ko lang yung comment dito.
Pati full name,
I think you can also provide your comment or your
answer to
additional information.
Yes.
From Romel Donasco.
Yes.
He said, in fact, in the millennial history of China, even in their imperial history, they never invaded a country. Here in Sulu, tapos ko, sir.
Yes.
Here in Sulu, we have the oldest Chinese port named John Lee Dilan. Many old folks told me that before Spaniards came, Chinese galleons regularly docks at Sulu because Sulu was a center of trade. I can't help but appreciate a picture below, an old Sulu marriage where the bride wore a crown mimicking a Chinese empress. This old proved the deep connection of Chinese to Tausug.
Tama. Ang galing. I-share mo sa akin yan,
Galing.
Magaling siya. Thank you for that comment.
From Romel.
In fact, the Sultanate of Sulu was one of the major kingdoms of Southeast Asia.
Wow.
Mayaman ang Pilipinas noon through Sulu, hindi pa kasama ang Visayas and Luzon dyan.
That was before the Spaniards.
Before the Spaniards, wala pang Castilla, hindi pa na-discover ang Pilipinas by the Castilla. Centuries na ang Chinese trade and residency in Sulu. In fact, yung buong pier ng Sulu, ang tawag, alam mo ang tawag sa pier sa Sulu? Chinese pier. Yung buong pier, tawag doon Chinese pier. Ang diplomatic relations ng Sulu Sultanate Kingdom and the emperors of China, high-level diplomacy.
Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, may isang Sulu emperor who died and buried in China.
Buried and honored with a mausoleum.
Where in China?
Dezhou City, D-E-Z-H-O-U.
It's a coastal city?
It's not a coastal city. It's in Shandong province. I'll tell you. Kasi,
Paano siya nakarating doon?
I'll tell you. May state visit ang Sulu Sultan with hundreds of people. Walang sinabi mga state visit ni presidente natin ngayon sa modern era. Ang delegation niya, hundreds. Mga opisyal, mga tao. And they went all the way to Beijing kasi kaibigan niya yung emperor ng China. Tapos alam mo, they stayed there hindi isang araw, hindi isang linggo. I heard they stayed there sa Imperial Palace, Forbidden City, months. Narinig ko 1 or 2 months as special VIP guest of the emperor.
Imperial Palace, that's in Beijing.
Yes, the Forbidden City, the biggest palace on earth. Yan ang the largest, 70 plus hectares siya na. 70 plus, parang syudad yan, pero lahat yung palasyo. Tapos, alam mo ginawa ng China government noon? Kung ano iregalo mo sa kanya, ang ireregalo sa'yo mas marami. Kung nagregalo ka ng 2 pandesal, papadalang ka ng 1,000, 100.
Mari na.
Oo. Yan ang tradition nila. Tapos, on the way back na nung Sulu Sultan, 600 years ago, on the way back papunta na sa Pilipinas, nagkasakit siya sa daan, namatay siya sa Dezhou City. Ang Muslim tradition, kailangan 24 oras ilibing. Hindi pwede lumampas 24 oras ang libing. So doon siya linibing. Nalungkot yon emperor ng China, yung kaibigan niya matalik na taga-Pilipinas na matay. In-honor niya. Sinabi niya sa mga opisyal niya doon, bigyan mo siya ng imperial burial ceremony, i-honor mo siya, nagtayo pa ng templo sa tabi. Muslim mosque. Nagtayo pa ng mosque forever sa tabi ng nag-assign pa ng tao na nakabantay hanggang ngayon.
Andyan pa.
600 years na. Ang dami ng gobyerno
Puntahan
dumaan sa
natin.
Pilipinas. Puntahan natin Alam mo, ang nakwento pa sa akin yan, Philippine ambassador natin ngayon sa Beijing, si Jaime Flor Cruz,
I know
na
him.
former CNN bureau chief, former Time Magazine, siya nakwento sa akin yan.
Wow. Sir, may comment naman from Zen
Yes.
Salindab and also from Ibn Talib Nasirin. They
Yes.
said, they talk
Yes.
about Parian. Parian
Yes.
in Magindanaoan language
Yes.
means marketplace.
Galing.
Wonder if this word originated in that place. That's from Zen Salindab. But from
Maraming salamat.
Ibn Talib Nasirin naman, he's also a Muslim, I think.
Yes,
Sabi
yes.
niya, Parian is an old Bajau word meaning seashore or shore.
Ang
Later,
galing.
it became port. And the port later became market.
Possible, ang galing. So possible, yan word na Parian na yan, where the Chinese were congregated, doon
ghetto,
pinatira.
parang ghetto.
Yung ghetto. Baka doon galing sa Mindanao yan, yung word na yan. Tapos nung nasa Manila na, yun na ang binigay na pangalan sa lugar na they were forced to stay by the Spaniards. Doon siguro ang root
May
word, ang galing.
similarity sila during the Spanish.
Yes.
Muslims and Chinese
Were discriminated. Muslims and Chinese were not only discriminated, they were considered infidels. Ang tawag nila sa Kastila, infieles.
Meron daw sa Cebu.
Non-Christians.
Meron din daw sa Cebu.
May Parian sa Cebu, may Parian sa Ilocos, may Parian sa Malolos.
Dito rin, sir, from Jerry Garingalao. Also
Yes.
in Iloilo, the district of Molo was formerly called Parian.
Because the Spaniards wanted to segregate, they discriminated kasi, dinidiscriminate ng mga Kastila, yung Spanish rulers, against the Chinese. So para hindi sila kahit saan-saan tumira, may Parian district or area, doon lang sila pwede tumira. Pero naging sentro ng elite yun. Kasi yung mga apo-apo ng mga immigrant, sila naging gobernador, Silio, Hacendero, ganyan.
Yeah, there's also a comment, sir, that I think you have to
Yes.
answer.
Yes, no problem.
You did not mention daw Limahong who tried to invade Manila.
Very good question. I have a friend, si Dr. Henry Lim Bonyong, late president ng FFCCCII. Nakiusap siya sa akin, Wilson.
Lim kasi to, no?
Lim siya.
Kamag-anak ko yata.
Lim siya. Sabi niya, Wilson, pakiusap ko naman sa'yo, which you should remind me I should do kasi namatay na si Dr. Lim. Sabi niya, pwede ka ba maghanap ng isang matino, magaling na historiador o historian sa Pilipinas, pwede isulat yung totoong storya ni Limahong. Hindi siya masamang tao daw, biktima siya of circumstances, tsaka hindi siya invasion. Pirate yan eh.
Oh.
Wanted yan by the government. Pirate siya. Hindi siya
What
government.
Philippine government or
Chinese government.
Chinese government.
Hindi naman siya criminal. Hindi naman siya masamang tao. Saka hindi siya invasion. Hindi siya
So, ano po
invasion.
yun?
Pirate na I think I will get to the details
He
of
did
it.
not invade.
He did not invade.
try.
He did not
There
invade
was
the
no
Philippines.
attempt.
There was no invasion. Hindi siya even by the Spaniards, they don't consider him an invader.
So what did he do? Why he's parang sabi mo nga parang
Ang impression ko,
sinira.
I have to check the details of storya niya. Pero alam ko, nakapunta yan sa Pangasinan eh. Nagtago siya doon. Tapos, marami daw siyang contribution sa buhay daw ng tao sa Lingayen. Doon daw siya. Marami daw siyang descendant doon eh.
That
Mga
word
tao niya.
Lingayen is also, sounds Chinese also, no?
Parang possible. I will check. Pero sabi ni Dr. Henry Limbon yung sa akin, Wilson, pakiusap, maghanap tayo ng historian na matino, na magaling, to write the true and balanced story of Limahong para hindi siya naging bad guy in Philippine history. Unfair daw yun.
Okay. Sir,
Sabi.
there's also a comment from
Yes.
Noel Eugenio Magsaysay. Sabi niya, Parian comes from the word paraya. The Chinese were kicked out
Yes.
of Intramuros for staging a revolt against the Spaniards.
Actually,
also see Limahong incident.
they were not kicked out kasi they were never allowed to stay there.
Okay.
So, mali siguro yan.
He said,
Yeah, thank you.
and was placed on Parian communities outside of Intramuros. This was taught in Philippine history in high school.
Tama, partly siya. Pero yung sequencing niya ang mali. They were put outside the Parian before the rebellion. Wala pang rebellion na sa labas na may Parian na
So they also nag-rebellion din talaga sila
several times.
against the Spaniards.
Actually, ang history of Philippine rebellion against Spanish oppression, we should acknowledge Chinese contribution. Kasi nakatulong yon to shatter the invincibility image ng Kastila. Kasi akala ng Pilipino, itong mga Kastila, hindi matumba-tumba yan. Walang pwedeng makatumba sa kanila. Tapos bigla itong minority na aping-api, dared to rebel. Ito pa, I'll tell you another trivia.
Yeah.
JB, maniwala ka sa kasaysayan ng Pilipinas, ilang beses ang may napatay na Governor General sa Pilipinas na Kastila or Amerikano. Ilang beses. Na based on recollection ko, may dalawa akong alam.
Namatay.
Dalawang pinatay. Hindi namatay ha.
Pinatay ng mga Chinese.
Pinatay ng Chinese. In fairness, buong history ng Pilipinas, walang Kastila na oppressor na naipatay ni Aguinaldo or ni Bonifacio per Chinese, dalawa pinatay. In fairness.
Paano nila pinatay?
Ang nabasa ko,
At sino po sila, sir?
ang nabasa ko, may isang Spanish Governor General gusto pumunta sa Marianas, ibang isla, labas ng Pilipinas.
Yeah. That's in Pacific.
Nag-recruit siya ng, di ko alam kung 200 na Chinese rowers. Kasi alam niya, mga Chinese, workaholic. walang kapaguran magtaba. Siguro pwedeng utusan, pwedeng pagalitan, hindi angal siguro. So kinuha Chinese rowers. Tapos, pero inapi sobra. Yun, totoo, ang mga Chinese by nature, pwede magtrabaho ng sobra-sobra.
Yeah.
Pero tao pa rin yan eh. Pag sinobra mo ang...
Lumalaban yan.
Pag sobrang lupit, sobrang pinahirapan, nag-rebellion, pinatay yung Governor General. Tapos pati anak yata pinatay din, yung naging Governor General.
Habang
iba,
nasa sila, biyahe?
nasa biya pinatay daw.
Wow.
In history, in fairness to the Chinese rebels, in fairness, kasaysayan yan ng Pilipinas na dapat i-acknowledge kasi lahat ng rebelde na tumulong sa pagpalaya sa Pilipinas, kahit na hindi naging successful, should be acknowledged dapat.
Okay, sir. Mayroong
Yes.
comment si...
Ay, nakalimutan ko sabihin, yung sinasabi niya na walang invasion history ang China, sinabi yan ng mga historians. Totoo yan.
Walang invasion.
Throughout history, ang China, hindi nagko-colonize ng ibang bansa, hindi nag-i-invade, parati siyang target for invasion. Because ang China, self-sufficient and rich ang civilization. Sobrang dami na nilang tao, hindi nila kailangan kumuha pa ng ibang bansa. Pinakamalaking nation nila sa buong mundo noon. Up to now, tinalo na ng Indian ngayon kasi nag-family planning si Mao at Deng Xiaoping. Pero without family planning, they are the largest nation in the world sa population. No need to get one more country.
But there's I don't know if it's a misconception, but there's an impression that
Kinuha ang Tibet and Xinjiang now, di ba?
that China is expanding.
Yes, yun ang impression nila. Pero actually, ang Xinjiang and Tibet kinuha under the Yuan dynasty of the Mongolian rulers and the Manchus under the Qing dynasty. In fact, China ang na-colonize. Kinolonize ng mga Mongolians ang China, ginawang Yuan dynasty. Ang mga Manchus, parang Kastila, kinonquer ang Qing dynasty. Doon lumaki ang teritoryo. Pero actually, maraming teritoryo ng China ninakaw ng ibang bansa. Russia ninakaw more than 1 million square kilometers. Yung buong Siberia hanggang Vladivostok sa China yan noon, kinuha nila.
Mongolia.
Yes, Mongolia din nawala. Tapos, hindi lang yun yung Taiwan, kinuha ng Hapon, 19th century pa.
Yeah.
Tapos, anong nangyari? Ito pa, ano ang pinaka-famous tourist destination sa China? Ano ang number one most famous tourist spot na million tourists every year pumunta sa China?
Great Wall.
Ano yun? Yan ang wall to
Great Wall
ward
of China
off
against
invaders.
Yeah.
Imagine mo, the whole world, ito ang bansa na gumawa ng napakalaking pader kasi
Ang galing, no?
kasi wala siyang tradisyon na mag-invade ng tao. Ang obsession nila is national security,
Yeah.
national defense.
You
Nasa
know-
mentality is to protect yourself from outsiders invading and taking over their country.
I visited the Great Wall several times. Talagang
Yes.
mapapamangha ka.
Breathtaking.
It's an engineering marvel.
Engineering marvel na talagang naging tourist spot pa.
Pati yung Forbidden City.
Yes, incredible. The largest palace on earth.
And the tomb of yung the emperors.
The first emperor sa Xi'an.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, not just the terracotta. Yung sa Beijing, sir.
Near
there's
Beijing, may mga
tomb
imperial
ng
tombs.
mga imperial tombs.
Wow.
I visited also. Doon sa loob mismo.
Ay,
Para
galing.
mga mami.
Meron pang unique sa kanila na nakakabilib.
Ang
Yung
galing.
damit na gawa ng jade.
Oo.
Gawa ng jade tapos ang sinulid ginto. Doon ako nakakabilib.
Yeah, so
Doon ako nabilib.
I was terracotta. I visited terracotta last year.
Breathtaking
Sa
also.
Xi'an, diba?
Amazing yun.
Yeah, it's-
Everybody should see the terracotta warriors.
Yeah, doon ako napabilib sa kanila. Sobra. And of course, wala namang tatalo pa sa ganda ng Summer Palace.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yun,
the other yung parang yung ginaya sa Kung Fu Panda,
Temple of Heaven.
Temple of Heaven.
Ay, pero isang puntahan dapat natin lahat. Yun, mas malaki pang Summer Palace na winasak ng mga Europyano.
Saan po?
May isang old Summer Palace. Alam mo sino nag-design? Mga Jesuita. Mga European Jesuit priests ang nag-design nun. Qing Dynasty, during the Opium War, winasak yun ng mga French and British and others. Nilut, saka winasak. Mas maganda pa.
Continue ko lang, sir, yung mga comments sa
comment.
episode natin. May
Yes.
sabi naman si Salvador Ang. Sabi niya,
Yes.
according to my elementary and secondary teachers, Binondo was a hilly area
Yes.
called Binondok.
Tama.
And Tondok was a small area now called Tondo.
Yes.
Intramuros was the city of Manila, well protected against the Moros or pirates.
Yes.
Limahong or
Yes.
Limahong was then
Yes.
into piracy
Yes.
and trading, but Raha Lakandula
Yes.
and Raha Sulaiman repelled him from entering the area. Limahong directed his trade in a town in Pangasinan where he landed immigrants from mainland China. One prominent Chinese family that landed in Pangasinan was that of Rizal, who traveled by land.
Hindi sa Limahong yan. Si Jose Rizal, directly from Fujian to Manila, no relation to Limahong.
Oh.
May record yan. Pero maganda sinabi niya, thank you. Maganda yung sinabi niya, tama yun mostly. Pero yung Jose Rizal, na-research ko yan, no relation to Limahong.
Sabi pa niya, sir,
Yes.
I believe this story as I met a remnant of Limahong's passengers who
Yes.
landed in Pangasinan. His name is Ching and told me his grandfather kept his carneta or visa issued that time. This was sometime in mid-1980s when we worked together as a seaman. My grandfather is Chinese, sabi ni Salvador Ang.
yes.
They were three brothers who came to the Philippines via Hong Kong
Yes.
and traveled south of Luzon
Yes.
and ended up in the island Catanduanes, where
Wow.
they thrived in businesses in the towns of San Andres and Virac.
Wow.
Accordingly, one of
Yes.
my grandfathers went back to China with his
Yes.
son. he wanted to take my father too, but my grandmother refused. They never returned back to Catanduanes, probably because victims of Mao Zedong's bloody reign. I still believe in that, in what I learned from my teachers then, as it is more credible than the present historians who it seems distorted the beautiful and true history of our country.
Tama, maganda. Thank you very much for that comment and for that educational part. We have to restudy and reevaluate some versions of our history. Tama, we need to update.
Yeah, sir, ito. Mayroon naman. Tranquilino Baniwas, he said, if there's a Chinatown in Binondo, Manila, there's also a Chinatown in Trancoville, Baguio City.
Wow.
The Chinese populace were engaged in farming and restaurant ownership. But when all the original Chinese men and women were no longer around, all the farm that they have been cultivating were converted into houses and big buildings. However, Chinatown is still existing, and it is found in Camdas Barangay in Baguio City. So Chinatown is very much alive in Baguio City. Majority of Chinese population in Baguio are mestiza and mestizo.
One of them, may storya narinig ako from Jessica Soho, the famous TV journalist.
She's also Filchay?
Grandfather niya, Chinese immigrant. And sabi niya, maraming mga Chinese immigrants from Guangdong province pioneered the vegetable industry of Baguio area. Including workers na nag-build ng road going to Baguio, Chinese and Japanese workers daw tumulong in the American colonial era.
Yeah, sabi naman po ni Carlos de Guzman, no?
Yes.
So much interesting that topic. The Chinese and Pinoy, they become friends for the protection of their lives and business to against the Spaniards. But the senators on Congress, they don't know the real history of friendship. Now I know the history begin siguro sinasabi niya, begin in Arroceros.
Thank you very much for your comments. Sana yung mga politician natin would promote more friendship and cooperation. For more than 1,000 years, peaceful and harmonious ang relations.
Yeah. Sabi naman ni Jerome, Jerome Wee, sabi niya, Spanish designated Binondo as a Chinese settlement area. This happened after a Chinese massacre done by Filipinos ordered by some Spanish officials because Chinese was good in business in making belts, shoes, etc. And local Spanish official was losing business. They fueled and ordered the Filipino to kill the Chinese people. It was found out because the Chinese protested to the government of Spain, which resulted in Spain ordering the removal of some local Spanish officials and designating Binondo as a place for the Chinese. They even put a covered fence around it, just sharing some old info.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerome Wee. Ang galing.
Yes, thank you.
Ang galing ng mga comments. Ang dami kong natutunan sa mga komento nila.
Thank you, dami.
Dito ko lang nalaman na pati sa Mindanao, sa mga Muslim areas.
Mayroon. Sa Sulu. Sa Davao, sa sa Cebu. Alam mo, sabi nila, sa Cebu daw walang Chinatown. Bakit?
Because
somebody
the
told
whole
me
city is a
Chinatown. Sabi nila.
I also,
so I heard Cebu.
I heard also, no?
Yes.
I think sino ba nagsabi sa akin noon?
May nagsabi sa akin
na ganun
pero
nga,
may Parian area din sila.
Kasi kung titingnan mo nga naman, majority of our Filipino-Chinese tycoons, the Gokong Ways.
Marami.
The Gutianon, the Gaisanos, sino pa ba ang mga sikat na Filchay dyan?
Marami taga Cebu.
Diba? Ang dami Gotong. Diba? So Chongbian. Diba? Ang daming galing sa Cebu.
And other provinces.
Well, if you go around the Philippines, sir.
Dalawang Dennis Uy, isa Davao, isa sa Pampanga. Probinsya din.
If you go around the country, makikita mo lahat ng mga mayayaman, lahat ng mga
philanthropists.
Mga philanthropists. Let's start first with the biggest traders or businessmen are Filipino-Chinese.
Yes.
Sila yung mga nagpasimula ng negosyo. Sila yung mga
donate ng schools.
Nagpapalaki nagkaambag sa ekonomiya, not just by trading but also by employing Filipinos.
And pioneering industries.
Diba? So ang dami kong natutunan
Alam
sa
mo,
mga
isa pang nabasa ko na hindi ko makalimutan ng bata ako. May isang ordinary Chinese businessman sa Pateros. May pioneer siya, hulaan mo ano. Panahon ng Kastila.
Pateros?
May isang Chinese businessman, hindi nila record yung pangalan. May inimbento sila na ambag niya to Philippine culture. Na natutuwa kayo pati yung mga technician mo.
Ano po yun?
Balut.
Oh. So balut is from...
Isang Chinese trader sa Pateros, nagkamali siya, nagkamalas-malas siya. May pinapa-incubate siya ng mga duck eggs
Opo.
na nag-fail. Hindi naging sisiw.
Opo.
Sayang yun. Kaysa naman itapon yun, binuksan niya isa, pinalat niya, tinikman niya, masarap naman. Binenta niya, nagbenta. Ginawa na niyang balot. Naging industriya daw ng Pateros. Nasa history ng Pateros yan. Ikugal mo.
But balut is not from China?
I heard from many people, there is a tradition in China of balot. Baka doon niya inimbento yun. Pero on record sa history ng balot, taga Pateros, isang Chinese businessman.
Isa rin sir sa mga sikat na food na na-integrate sa Filipino culture ay pancit.
Yes.
Meron ka bang, I heard that it's of course,
it's a Chinese invention.
It's a Chinese
all
food.
over the world.
Diba?
In fact, alam mo ba spaghetti saan ang galing?
Sa China?
Ang kwento ng lahat ng tao,
Sino ang nagdala?
Marco Polo.
Oh, yeah.
Dala ni Marco Polo sa Italy naging spaghetti. Walang biro. May nagsabi ice cream din daw, hindi ko alam yon.
Opo.
Kung verified o hindi.
Saan galing sir yung pancit?
Sa China, inimbento sa tingin ko yan ang one of the great wonders of the world. Better than Huawei phone or Honor. Kasi pansit araw-araw kailangan ko Gusto ko yun natutuwa ko. Isa pa.
Better than BYD.
Oo, BYD kasi ito pang masa. Everyday nakakain natin.
Every Filipino nagpapansit canton.
Isa pa. Lumpia. Nung pumunta yung US Vice President si Kamala Harris dito, in-interview siya, anong paborito niyang pagkain? Lumpia.
Ano, is it the fried or
the fried
fresh?
one. The lumpiang Shanghai na wala sa Shanghai. May isang, ang theory ko ito pa, alam mo ba walang lumpiang Shanghai sa Shanghai?
Because?
Walang pansit canton sa Canton. Canton is a city.
Yeah.
Now it's called Guangzhou.
Guangzhou, yeah.
Walang pansit canton sa Canton, walang lumpiang Shanghai sa lumpia. Hula mo bakit May theory ako dyan.
Bakit?
Ang theory ko, may isang enterprising matalinong Chinese businessman somewhere in Binondo or somewhere in Manila or Cebu. Nagbebenta siya ng pansit. Gusto niya pasikatin sobra yung pansit niya. Tinawag niyang pansit canton. Branding para maiba lang.
No.
Tapos, yung lumpiang Shanghai kasi maraming klaseng lumpia ang Chinese May lumpiang sariwa, lumpiang upod, lumpiang Siguro nalilito yung mga assistant cook niya. Sir, ano bang klaseng lumpia gusto mo? Tawagin mo ng lumpiang Shanghai, maganda pakinggan. Kasi Shanghai is parang New York of China
Yeah. But may nabasa ko that pancit comes from a Hokkien word.
Yes.
It's pianisit daw yata.
Doon galing yan, Chinese word. Tapos,
something that is conveniently cooked daw.
ang pansit is like the Chinese in the Philippines. Why? Na-acculturated na sa Pilipinas. Ang pansit ng China, dinala dito, maraming klase ang pansit sa China. Pero pagdating dito, bawat region ng Pilipinas, Philippinized.
Yes.
May pansit sa Tugigaraw.
Yes.
May pansit sa Malabon.
Ano tawag sa Tugigaraw, sir?
May tawag doon yung batong, patil.
Nakalimutan ko yun. Kasi
pansit something
pinatikim sa amin yan ni dating Vice President Binay. Kasi he's from Isabela.
May unique pansit sa Cagayan.
Meron din sa Cagayan.
Tugigaraw, mayroon sila. Patol something. May pansit na unique sa Malabon. Ibang klase din. Sa Quezon, yan yung tawag doon sa Quezon.
May palabok.
Yes, pansit palabok.
Haghag. Ayun na. Habhab.
Habhab, marami. Yun, sa Quezon, somewhere. So, ang tawag dyan. Yes, yan ang tinatawag ko sa Philippinization of Chinese pansit.
At hindi yan, ang pansit, hindi kompleto ang birthday celebration pag walang pansit. No
Yes, worldwide.
Yeah, kahit nung nagpunta ako sa ibang bansa,
Kailangan
may
yan.
pansit. Pag Filipino community, may pansit.
one thing I'd like to add na dapat gawin ng lahat ng Pilipino, huwag kalimutan, hindi pinuputol ang pansit.
Why?
May mga tao na hindi marunong, kinakat na lang ng kutsilyo or ng kutsara. Hindi pwede kasi kinakain niya ng buo. Kasi symbol ng long life yan. Hindi yan
longevity.
ginugunting. Hindi yan ginugunting. Hindi yan hinihiwa ng kutsilyo or ng kutsara or tinidor. Wag. Chinese custom yan.
Paano yan naging
Symbol of long life.
Sir, how did a simple noodle dish
Yes.
become embedded in Filipino identity?
Kasi sa tingin ko, ang Filipino culture by nature is very adaptable and cosmopolitan. Naka-absorb ng influence from all over the world. Tapos naniniwala ako ang Pilipino, like Chinese, mahilig kumain.
Yeah.
Mahilig sa masarap na pagkain.
Correct.
One more thing I'd like to add, since Chinese New Year ang theme mo, alam mo ba, ang toyo, one of the big contributions of China to world cuisine and Filipino culture.
Toyo.
Toyo.
Suka.
Bago dumating hundreds of years ago ang Chinese immigrant dito, alam mo ba anong adobo ng Pilipinas nung unang panahon, nung wala pa Chinese dito? Suka lang.
Ooh.
Ang adobo ng Pilipinas, yung pinakaunang adobo, wala
so
pa.
hindi dark yung kulay.
Wala. Nung dumating ang Chinese, dinadagan ng toyo. Yung word na toyo is Hokkien. Tao yu. Tao meaning beans. Yu is oil. Tao yu. The extract from the beans.
Ooh.
Tao yu, naging toyo. Yun Hokkien, Hokkien.
Galing sir, kasi yung pancit ngayon,
Yes. Filipinong-Pilipino na. Lumpia.
Nagkakaroon na ng mga fusion.
Yes. Hindi lang yun. Pinagmamalaki na ng Pilipinas ang lumpiang Shanghai natin. Sa buong mundo, pag sinasabi, what are the world's most delicious foods? Among them, Philippines, lumpia.
Talaga?
Nakalista yan. One of the pinagmamalaki ng Pilipinas, in fairness sa Pilipinas, our own version na ang lumpia. Inangkin na natin. Parang,
Fresh or fried?
Yes. Parang sinabi mo si Cardinal Sin or si Cory Aquino o Jose Rizal, hindi mo pwede sabihin tataka food yan.
Opo.
Pilipino na yan with Chinese roots.
So talagang the story about pancit, the
Yes.
story about lumpia,
Symbolizes the ethnic Chinese presence in the Philippines na part of Filipino society na.
Yes.
Ang tingin ng mga Chinese community members sa Pilipinas, para kaming Bisaya, Ilonggo, Tausug, para tayong isang tribe ng Pilipinas. We are part of Philippine national culture and national
Society.
community. We are just another variant of Filipino. Parang maraming klaseng Pilipino. May Igorot, may Tausug, may Ilocano, may Ilonggo. Ang Chinese is another branch of Philippine family or community.
yeah, and I think sir that's also symbolizes a successful successful soft power of China.
Yes, culture.
Right? That's
through
cultural
food.
diplomacy, right?
Yes. Ay,
Food diplomacy.
Sorry to interrupt. Mayroon pa akong isang nakaligtaan na anecdote.
Opo.
Yun na-mention natin kanina Malacanang. May tanong ako sa'yo. Anong connection ng Chinese community sa kasaysayan ng Malacanang? Hulaan mo lang. Maliban sa may 2-3 contractor na nagpaganda dyan, na mga karpentero na nag-renovate dyan. Hulaan mo lang anong connection ng Chinese minority and the history of Malacanang as the seat of government of the Philippines.
Not through the carpenters, hindi naman.
Aside from the carpenters, aside from the 2 great contractors who renovated it and rehabilitated it, ano pa? May 2 interesting na storya ako para sa'yo.
Ano po yun, sir?
Isa, yung pagbili ng Malacanang by the Spanish government, wala silang pera parati. Ang Kastila, unfortunately, pareho sa mga politiko natin na gobyerno, parating salat sa pera, parating nauubos ang budget. Hindi marunong mag-budget, hindi marunong magkwenta. Tapos, biglang naisip nila, kailangan na ng summer house. Kasi ang original ng Malacanang, o tirahan ng mga governor general na sa Intramuros. Wala naman doon sa tabi ng ilog na malayo.
Kasi suburb lang yung area.
Suburb lang yun, San Miguel,
Suburb.
Manila.
Oo.
Hindi yan city of Manila Centro.
Yeah.
So they wanted a summer house sa tabi ng ilog na pag mainit ang panahon sa Pilipinas, pag sobrang init ng dry season summer, doon tatago yung Governor General magpahinga. Binili nila sa isang well-known Spanish family, Rocha family. Wala silang budget, walang pera, kapos sa pera. The usual tanong ng politiko sa Pilipinas, pag election, pag walang pera, ang sinasabi, sino pupuntahan?
Utang.
Chinese.
Oh?
Hindi inutangan. Alam mo ginawa? Gumawa ng special tax. Nag-invento ng special tax sa Chinese community. Kinuha yung pera, pangbayad, pangbili. Yung pera, pangbili sa Malacanang from a special Chinese tax. On record yan sa Malacanang history na hindi nila ma-erase. Dapat nakalagay sa marker sa tabi yan na ito, pinag-ambagan ng mga Chinese community.
Ang dami dapat matutunan at saka sa
Isa yan
natin. No?
Number 2. Isa pang trivia na nakakatuwa. Alam mo isa sa pinaka-longest resident ng Malacanang, hindi si Ferdinand Marcos, hindi si Gloria Arroyo, isang Chinese mayordomo. Nung panahon ng American colonial era, ang head ng household, yung mga housekeeping, paglinis, pag-aayos, yung mayordomo Chinese. Panahon ni Governor General William Howard Taft. Sobra siyang efficient, gusto niya dalhin sa Amerika. Tapos nag-hire din siya ng mga Chinese na mga worker at taga-linis, taga-household. On record yan. May kwento pa ako sa iyo yan about sa 21st century. Sabi sa akin ni Senator Amy Marcos, nung panahon na ng tatay niya, si Ferdinand Marcos, 1970s, martial law, tagal na doon, di ba? May kwento si Senator Amy Marcos na ang tatay yata niya o siya mismo, nakikita o naririnig may multo daw na Chinese. Andun. Yun, mayordomo yun. Sa tingin
Yung
ko.
multo na Chinese?
Oo, na mayordomo.
Bakit nila nalaman ng multong Chinese?
Sabi ni Amy nakalimutan ko na in
Baka
details.
nagsa-Chinese.
Nagsa-Chinese. So sabi niya, dito ako. Pero very efficient daw yun, mayordomo. Parang mayordomo, siya yung household, palit ng
So,
palit.
you believe that Malacanang is the most haunted place?
Sabi ni
in the
Senator
country?
Amy Marcos, you should interview her. Sabi niya, marami siyang ghost stories about it.
Oh my.
Mababait daw yung multo. Di ba kinakausap daw ng tatay niya or something? Sabi niya, nakakatawa.
Talaga?
Pwede yan novela or
So
movie.
si dating Pangulong Marcos ay may third eye.
Para sabi niya, nakakatawa.
Okay, so going back to food.
Yes,
as
food.
soft power. Kasi
Yes.
Japan institutionalized sushi globally, di
Yes,
ba?
yes.
Pag sinabi mong sushi, it's a Japanese food. South Korea naman, meron silang Korean wave ng kimchi,
Yes.
K-barbecue, Thailand.
Yung gyoza, alam mo yung gyoza? Chinese galing yun.
Gyoza
Yung
from...
dumpling.
Akala ko
Chinese yun.
Japanese food yan.
Chinese yun. 20th century lang yun. During the invasion, kinopya nila.
Yeah.
Tinawag lang nilang gyoza.
So, if these countries, you mentioned, galing sa China,
Ang tea.
if this is soft power, if this is
Yes.
part of cultural or culinary diplomacy, anong tingin mo na dapat din gawin ng Pilipinas to leverage or to fully leverage ang dami masasarap na food
Yes,
from the Philippines?
Alam mo, yan ang isang kakulangan natin sa Pilipinas. Masasarap ang Filipino food natin. Hindi natin minamarket globally. Ito,
Lechon, diba? Lechon.
maganda ng tanong mo sobra. Yun kare-kare lang Kare-kare, sinigang.
Is that a
Very
pure-
Filipino siya. Sa alam ko hindi siya Spanish, Filipino siya.
Hindi rin yan Chinese.
Hindi sa alam ko. Sa alam ko hindi ko sure
Okay.
alam ko Biko Chinese yun. The word pa lang Biko,
Biko.
Chinese B is rice, Ko is cake Rice, cake, rice pastry. Pero may isa pang contribution ng Chinese na very important.
Ano yun, sir?
Ano tawag dito sa Tagalog?
Susi.
Susi. The word susi is from the Chinese word sosi.
Oh.
Sosi is Hokkien. Alam mo bakit? Nung di pa dumating ang Chinese dito, kung Pilipinas walang susi. Hulaan mo bakit?
Bakit, sir?
Wala silang linalak.
Wala silang metal?
Hindi. Kasi ang Pilipinas nung unang panahon, self-sufficient lahat ng tao. Hindi ka kailangan mag-import, mag-save. Kaya wala tayong savings culture noon up to now. Hindi mo ma-blame. Ang explanation ng nanay ko, in-explain ng late mother ko, na hindi mo ma-blame ang Pilipino na walang kultura sa sobrang nag-iimpok ng pera, nag-save ng pera, kasi walang need eh. So, in-explain niya, tapos sabi ko, bakit? Ang Chinese naman, sobrang matipid, kasi may need, napasok na sa DNA sobra.
Yeah.
Kasi daw, sabi ng nanay ko, sa Pilipinas nung unang panahon, nung wala pang mga sakim na tao na nagpa-plunder and corruption, nung unang panahon daw, hindi ka daw mamamatay sa init, sa lamig, hindi ka mamamatay sa gutom sa Pilipinas. Mula Enero hanggang December, pwede ka mag-harvest ng kahit anong gulay, prutas. Sa China daw, sabi ng nanay ko, kung hindi ka masipag, mag-save ng pera and pagkain, mamamatay ka daw sa lamig, mamamatay ka sa gutom. Kasi pagdating ng autumn and winter, kailangan ka may extra funds, pera, pambili ng coal,
Oling.
pangpainit.
Yeah.
Buong araw, mamamatay ka sa lamig. Number 1. Number 2, wala kang ma-harvest autumn hanggang December, lahat ng halaman patay. Lahat ng gulay, wala kang makuha kung hindi ka mag-save. So, force ka, like it or not, non-stop, naging kultura mo na mag-save non-stop for the winter time.
So the susi,
Kung wala kang savings, bakit ka magsususi?
Yeah.
Ano ikakandado mo? Wala ka naman savings sa bahay, yun nipahat mo. Wala ka naman ikakandado dyan. Kaya no need.
so nauso pala sa China yung mga vault.
Kailangan kasi save ng save. May ginto, may pera, may save ng save. Kailangan mo ilak yan na nakawin yan.
Yeah.
Sa Pilipinas, walang need. So nung dumating ang Chinese, dinalay dito yung technology ng susi. Sabi naman, ano yan? Sabi, ito sosi. Naging susi. Diyan yung word na susi.
So ang daming...
Hikaw.
Hikaw. Ano naman yung hikaw, sir?
Hikaw, he is Hokkien for ear. Tenga. Cow is hook. Hikaw is ear hook, literally.
Okay.
Ang ibig sabihin ng hikaw, ear hook. So siguro noong unang panahon, hindi ma-OA mga tao sa Pilipinas. Mga Chinese siguro ma-OA. Gusto magpagyan ng
Kasi mga
palamuti.
Chinese mahilig sa accessories eh. Diba?
Kaya nagkaroon ng hikaw. Inimbento din pati hikaw.
Diba? Actually, yun yung napansin ko rin. Diba?
Maraming mga maliliit na contribution sa...
If you go to China, ang daming mga jewelries, diba?
Ang daming accessories.
Mahilig yung mga jade.
Mahilig sa marami. ang China, wala masyadong jade. Pero sikat sa jade.
Yeah, sa Shanghai.
Karamihan ng jade galing sa Myanmar. Yung raw gem, yung mga bato na yun,
Yeah.
karamihan sa ibang bansa galing. Pero sa sobrang hilig ng Chinese culture ng jewelry, naging sikat sa Chinese culture ang jade. Pero ang original source ng jade, karamihan Myanmar. Yung tinatawag na Burma noon.
Wow. Okay. Sir, balikan ko lang yung food
Yes.
na hindi ko na...
Yes.
Do you think, ikaw, naniniwala ka ba, should government fund culinary diplomacy?
Brilliant question by J.B. Arsenas. Alam mo, walang biro. Thailand, hindi alam ng maraming tao.
Yeah.
Sumikat ang Thai food, hindi by accident. Government policy yan. Kung di ako nagkakamali, yung Thai food, the pad Thai or something, yung sikat, invento ng gobyerno yan para pasikatin sa Thailand. Yung pagkain nila na
Yung
sikat.
sticky rice?
Hindi, yung parang noodle nila na masarap.
Wait.
Basta yung sobrang
Tom yum?
sikat. Hindi, yung pad Thai ba or something.
Yeah, pad thai.
Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, invento ng isang hari yan. Pinakompetition niya. Tapos deliberate government policy yan, sumikat. Parang yung Korean movies. Hindi yan by accident na bigla na lang sumikat ang Korean telenovela at saka movies. Government policy yan. May mga matatalinong tao sa gobyerno sa Korea na may malasakit sa kultura at saka ekonomiya ng Korea na gusto nila yumaman ng Korea hindi lang economically but culturally. Deliberate government policy yan. Pati China, Korea and China, they support their movie industry by government policies. Alam mo, isang policy nila na kailangan natin gayahin dito. Sa Korea and China, hindi basta-basta pwede pumasok lahat ng Hollywood and foreign movies anytime in any volume. Tayo dito, open market tayo.
Yeah.
Anybody can just enter anytime. Talagang wasak talaga ang local industry. Ang Korea, napakatalino. May schedule na kailan pwede pumasok, may limit kung kailan pwede pumasok, ilang number of movies in the theaters.
Yeah.
China, ganyan din. So dahil dyan, natulungan yung local industry nila.
Actually, that's the trend now na parang Korea at doon yung
Korean telenovela.
the K-pop,
Yes.
the K-drama, 'di ba?
Dapat magkaroon tayo ng
Are making
ganyan.
wave globally, 'di ba?
Dapat tayo sa Pilipinas ang ganyan. Kasi we are world class in entertainment,
Yeah.
in singing, in
And
creativity.
that's soft power.
Dapat yan ang atupagin ng ilang mga government official natin,
Yes.
politiko, hindi puro flood control. Kahit kalahati lang ng flood control, sana
Yes.
ibuhos dyan.
Yes, because if you want to influence other countries and other culture with
Yes.
your culture, use soft power, not hard power.
Yes.
Not through military, not through
Yes.
defense, not through arms. Soft
Tama.
power is the best. I think
Yes.
the best kind of
Goodwill,
tool
yes. To promote your
influence,
culture.
to promote your culture. Aside from
And
entertainment.
tourism.
Yeah, tourism.
Kaya sikat ang Korean tourism because of Korean entertainment. Ganyan dapat tayo.
Yeah.
That is what is lacking dito.
So should we standardize the Filipino cuisine branding? Kasi we have lechon, we have adobo.
Instead
Yeah.
of standardizing, kasi alam ko mag-up in arms sila, magagalit, di ba? We should elevate it, ang standards. We should standardize the export of it. Yun the export part. Alam mo ito nakakagulat. Everywhere in the world, mayroon kang high-end, nakakabilib na Thai restaurant. Pero hindi siya everywhere may Filipino restaurant na pang Michelin star. Puro OFW market ang Filipino food natin, sayang.
Kaya
Pero
nga.
maganda naman ang pagkain natin, pagandahin yung presentation. Tama ka. I think standardizing is one way. Standardizing in the positive sense. Hindi yun, pwera yung iba. Standardizing, ibig sabihin standardizing the high quality of it,
Yeah.
the consistency of it, the packaging and yung look, the aesthetic presentation look ng Filipino food, standardize, i-improve.
Correct.
Mag-invest on that dapat.
Yeah, credit to Jollibee, because
Yes.
they're expanding globally and that's
Sumikat.
a Filipino brand. It's a soft power din.
Kaya sumikat
diba?
ang Filipino version ng spaghetti.
Correct.
na matamis.
Correct. At
Because
saka
of
lawak
Jollibee.
na, dami na nilang what can you share about Jollibee, sir? The owner or the...
The owner is a son of an immigrant, a former cook in a Chinese restaurant before. Self-made man yan. Very
Self-made?
humble. Self-made. Talagang hindi siya mayaman. Self-made ang wealth niya.
And his, tinalo niya yung McDonald's.
Tinalo niya ang McDonald's in the Philippines. Sumikat siya. And very humble ang pamilya nila. Very humble and naging paborito na ng ordinaryong tao sa buong Pilipinas. Making food consistent, quality, and quite affordable.
Yes. Alam mo, sir, pag pupunta ako sa ibang bansa na may Jollibee,
Nakakatuwa.
nagiging proud ako pag nakita ko yung Jollibee. And kahit hindi ako
Export.
madalas dito sa Pilipinas
Yes.
mahilig sa fast food, pero pag nandun ako sa ibang bansa, gusto kong
Oo,
i-try.
i-support.
To support Jollibee. Because, and like for example, in Madrid,
Yes.
yung nila, sir, yung cashier, yung mga tao, Filipinos.
Galing.
So ang galing, sabi ko, wow.
Nakarating ka na sa Jollibee ng Madrid. Hindi
Oh,
ka pa
yeah.
nakita.
So,
Galing.
Sa Jollibee sa New York, ganun
Wow.
din.
Galing.
So nakaka-proud, sir, because nakakatulong sila sa mga Filipino migrants.
Maganda ang observation mo, JB. Hopefully, we should have more Jollibees in different industries. Ibig sabihin, sana mas maraming Filipino homegrown brands
Yes.
na mag-ambition maging world brands.
And employ Filipino migrants. Abroad.
San
Yeah.
Miguel is one possibility.
Yeah.
May San Miguel na sa Hong Kong and other places. Sana sumikat din
Sa
siya
Hong Kong, sakit
worldwide.
ang San Miguel,
Sobra sa China din.
Yeah, China pala, in China.
Sa China, nagugulat sila. Hindi
Oo.
nila alam na Pilipino. Akala nila European yan.
Yeah, kasi one time uminom ako sa Shenzhen.
Oo.
May nagsabi sa akin, San Miguel, don't you know that San Miguel is from the...
Ano yan? Class yan doon.
Diba? Sobrang ang galing. Anyway, sir, is our diversity a weakness or an advantage?
It is a great advantage. Any country with diversity, it's a strength of any country. Proof of that, USA. USA became, before, the wealthiest country on earth because they were the most diverse.
Yes.
Before, now, question mark na yun policy nila eh. May
But
pagka-anti-immigrant.
I think they're still the biggest economy.
They're still the biggest economy.
In terms
and,
of GDP nominal.
Yes,
But
and-
in terms of PPP or
Yes.
purchase power
yes,
parity.
parang
no?
iba na.
It's China.
Yes, pero what made them great? Immigrants also. And
Yes,
diversity.
yes.
Diversity is a strength of any country. Example is Singapore. Do you know ilang percent ang Pilipino sa Singapore? Napakalaki.
Yes.
Hindi ko alam kung 10-20% ng Singaporeans Pilipino. Very open-minded ang gobyerno ng Singapore
Yeah.
to foreign workers, foreign migrants, and they are the richest country in ASEAN.
Yes.
Yun ang weakness
Singapore
ng
is
Japan.
like, sabi nga nila, is a melting pot
Yes.
of Southeast Asia.
That's why it is
because
also
of
the wealthiest.
The diverse cultures,
Yes, very
races,
open.
yeah.
Very open to different cultures.
Yeah.
Yun ang strength ng mga diverse countries.
Actually, sir, akala ko dati the people of Singapore are mga yung
Akala mo Chinese lang
yung
lahat?
ancestry nila ay Chinese and Malay lang.
Maraming
Now,
iba.
ang daming mga Indians.
Ang dami din mga Europeans and expats. Ang dami. Another country na ganyan, Canada, is an example of diversity
Ang daming
as
Indians.
strength.
Ang daming Indians.
Ang daming Pilipino, ang daming Asians,
Yeah.
ang daming Chinese na Cantonese ang salita sa all over.
And it might, the number of Chinese in Canada might increase soon because
Yes.
of the renewal of
Yes.
of alliance of friendship of China and Canada
And China
Canada
and
under
Britain.
Mark Carney.
Yes.
Right. Prime Minister Mike Carney is really good, no?
Very good and very smart. Standing ovation siya.
Sa World Economic Forum.
Yes,
I
sa
watched
Davos.
that speech. That
Incredible speech,
was
standing
the
ovation.
best speech ever.
Pro-diversity siya.
Yes.
Pro-world trade siya. Hindi siya
Pro-globalization.
Pro-globalization.
Yeah. And he is against isolationist, protectionism policy of the United States, and which is
tragic.
correct din naman
Yes,
because
yes. Correct din. May balance lang.
I believe that no man is an island.
Yes,
diba?
yes.
I believe that
Everyone thrives because of other countries.
and I think I was following Chinese politics, US politics, European politics. Pag napapanood ko yung speech ni Xi Jinping,
Oo.
that's his emphasis eh. No, I'm not I'm not a pro-China
Yes,
here,
yes.
but I'm just giving you a fair
Globalization.
Kasi nanonood ako ng mga speech ng mga
All the
world
leaders. Yes.
no? And pag makikita mo yung kanilang mensahe, only a few ang warmonger
Or anti-foreign.
only a few yung
Hindi xenophobic.
hindi xenophobic
Oo.
except sa mga alam mo yun, I don't know kung paano, but there's a question also sa mga polisiya ng ibang bansa. Ayoko nang pag-usapan much on that.
Yes.
Let's talk more on
Culture
the
and
culture,
foods.
no? And food. No, so you mentioned that it's our advantage. Now let's go back to
Yes.
to
Comments.
to heritage preservation.
Yes,
Because
yes.
this Kamuning Bakery Cafe
Yes.
is a testament, an example of heritage preservation.
Thank you.
Di ba?
Thank you for appreciating that. Alam mo, nung bagong bili ko itong Kamuning Bakery Cafe, one of my customers, nung pinaparenovate ko, repair ko, pinipintura ko yung mga nadudumihan na ng parte, may isang customer na ako na sikat na artista na very respected na customer namin, lumapit sa akin. Sabi niya, "Sir, narinig ko kayo na daw may-ari nito." Sabi ko, "Wag mo ko, sir." Ma'am. Tapos sabi niya, "May suggestion lang ako if you don't mind." Sabi ko, "Anong suggestion niya?" "Okay lang, welcome mag-suggest." Sabi sa akin ni Connie Reyes, the great and respected actress.
And
Sabi niya,
mother of Mayor Vico
yes,
Soto.
of Pasig City. Very nice woman. Si Connie Reyes, very humble, talented, and devout Christian.
Yeah.
Sabi niya, Sir, may suggestion ako ha. Pag nagre-renovate ka and rehabilitation itong Kamuning Bakery, huwag mo gawing sobrang bago. yung mga lumang parte ng bakery, wag mo alisin ha. Yung mga lumang bricks na yan, yung mga lumang walls na yan, kahit na sira-sira na, wag mo alisin yan ha. Wag mo baguhin yan, i-retain nyo yan. That's part of the character daw ng bakery. Sabi niya.
Heritage.
Tapos sinabi ko yan sa lahat ng tao dito, lahat ng pintura. Tapos alam mo, ang bait ni Connie Reyes, ang naman sinabi pa niya, Sir, pwede ba ako may regalo sa'yo? Oh, of course naman, ano yung regalo mo? Pwede ba ako magregalo ng daily bread sa'yo? Nagbibenta ako ng tinapay, di ba? Binigyan niya ako ng maraming maliliit na booklet na tinatawag na daily bread.
It's a booklet.
Yes, every day my Bible verse, may story about Christianity.
Siya bang nagdala sa'yo sa...
Hindi. Kasi nag-aral ako sa Grace Christian High School as an elementary student. So naging Christian na ako. Pero I should be more devout Christian. I should go to church more often.
Okay. You mentioned about yung suggestion ni Miss Connie Reyes.
Heritage preservation.
Heritage preservation.
Magaling siya.
So you think preserving or is preserving old bakeries or eateries an act of patriotism?
Yes, not only is it an act of patriotism, helping our nation have a sense of history.
Identity.
Yes, ang nakakalungkot, yung mga Kastila and other colonizers, when they came to the Philippines, they tried to erase Philippine history. They tried to even brainwash ang mga tao sa Pilipinas na wala daw kultura. Wala daw kultura ang Pilipinas bago dumating ang Kastila. That is not only a myth, that is an outright lie. Kasinungalingan yan. Kasi ang proof niyan, mga Chinese records. Mga Chinese records of interactions with Filipinos. Hindi lang Sulu may kingdom pa sa anong lugar? Butuan. Butuan and other areas of the Philippines, may mga sultan, may mga kingdom, may diplomatic and trade relations na with China and other Asian countries. May kultura na ang Pilipinas, may cuisine na, may mga kings na dito and nobility. Hindi totoo. May writing system na dito.
Yes, sir. Actually,
hindi totoo, wala.
I can say that talagang may kultura na tayo bago pa yung mga Spaniards because the Golden Tara ay nakita sa Agusan. And in Golden Tara, hindi naman yung dala ng mga Espanyol.
Tondo was a kingdom. Alam mo ba ang Tondo, where I grew up, maliit na lang na district yun, di ba?
Opo.
Before the Spaniards came, ang Tondo was a big kingdom.
Led by Raha.
Yes, mga several rahas yan.
Di ba dati may Raha Lakandula, Raha Sulaiman pa dito sa Manila?
Yes. Kaya wag natin kalimutan ang history natin. So, Kamuning Bakery Cafe is a small, humble effort namin to preserve history kasi naniniwala kami the way we bake, the way we cook, the way we eat is part of our history and culture.
You think, sir, our books in elementary and
should
high
be
school
rewritten,
should be revised?
Should be revised from the Filipino people's point of view.
Put emphasis on that culture.
Especially the pre-colonial part.
Okay.
Kasi kung hindi tayo magiging proud. Maraming sa Pilipinas, parang pag may napangasawa na Amerikano o Europeano, mas class. Parang mas magaling siya. Pag mestizo, parang mas maganda siya kaysa sa hindi mestizo. Tignan mo sa Pilipinas, si Nora Honor lang yata naging superstar na babae, lahat mestiza. I'm not against mga mestiza. Pero even our concept of beauty, our concept of power and class, yung class ka at saka hindi class, colonial mentality.
Okay.
We should outgrow the colonial mentality and wag makalimutan yung Filipino identity and Asian roots natin. Asian tayo. Hindi tayo Westerner.
Tingin nyo itong mga heritage preservation or heritage food institutions should receive government protection and support?
Ang galing mo. Dapat na sa gobyerno ka, JB. Dapat, sana kahit na maliit na porsyento lang ibigay dyan, invest na ibigay sa flood control. At saka ito pa, yung travel tax na controversial. Alam mo ba, JB, sa buong ASEAN, tayo lang may travel tax on tourism. Yung bawat Pilipino aalis sa bansa, nagbabayad travel tax. Sana yun man lang ibigay sa heritage preservation, culinary upliftment. development of Filipino
Culinary,
R&D.
cuisine branding.
Kailangan may
right?
R&D, branding, R&D, standardization of Filipino cuisine
It's about time.
and culture. Export dapat natin yan.
It's about time
Yes.
to project food as soft power, culinary diplomacy, di ba?
Food tourism.
Food tourism. Di
Alam mo,
ba?
may isa pa pwede gawin ng Pilipinas na sobrang sayang di ginagawa. Tayo dapat ang center ng medical tourism and dental tourism. Wala. Alam mo ito sinong pinakamagaling na nurse sa lahat ng Europe and America?
A Filipino.
Lahat ng mga American TV series, puro Filipino ang nurse. Di ba? Bakit sila nakikinabang? Dapat kahit kalahati ng mga magagaling na nurse yan. Kung may tourism tayo ng medical tourism, hindi kailangan nasa New York or nasa Dublin or nasa Germany yung mga nurse na yan. Dapat nandito sila, nakikinabang tayo. Hindi pa sila hiwalay sa mister nila, sa anak nila. Kung mayroon tayong seryosong medical and dental tourism
But
program.
we're using our nurses kasi for labor export eh.
That's a very short-term gain lang and minimal lang compared sa long-term gain. Pag we do medical tourism, mas yayaman ng Pilipinas, pati yung mga nurse.
In what way po maging medical tourism ang nursing po?
Kasi kung
Nursing schools?
yes, hindi lang nursing school. If we upgrade all our medical tourism facilities,
Okay.
if we make the peace and order natin, at saka international events na wag puro flood control, saka wag puro toxic politics. Kung maganda imahe natin, pagdating sa airport, sa immigration, saka yung mga taxi, wag lolokohin yung mga turista.
Yeah.
Marami sana dito gagastos for tooth services, beauty. Alam mo yung beauty?
Yeah. Can commercialization dilute authenticity?
Yes, but we can balance. We can balance na authenticity is still there and commercialization na hindi abusado. Everything naman in the world, kahit na tubig, kahit pagkain, anything can be abused pag sobra, pag hindi na balanse. Anything, even the best, even vitamin. Kung uminom ka ng 12 vitamins a day, abuse yun. Masama din yun. So even commercialization is not a bad thing pag abuse of it, uncontrolled, walang regulation. Parang nangyari sa Boracay noon.
Yeah.
Sobrang commercialized ang
Yes.
Boracay to the point na wasak-wasak ang environment.
And thank you, Duterte, for rehabilitating
Nung una,
Boracay.
na-shock ako. Pero afterwards, thank you lahat ng tao. Gumanda, umayos ang Boracay.
Ang ganda.
Umayos.
May ayos yung drainage,
Kung
may
hi-
sewage system.
Kung hindi niya ginawa yun,
Sewerage.
kung hindi
Storage.
niya ginawa, magiging unsustainable.
Yes. Baka
Babaksak.
lumubog na.
Lulubog literally sa basura yan.
Correct. Tama. Ang ganda na ng Boracay because of that.
The whole country needs that.
Rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation and balance in everything. Saka
So-
discipline. Discipline comes from the government.
Sir, you're a
Private sector will not do it.
Okay, you mentioned you're going political. So I have
Yes.
to ask you this question.
Yes.
I mean, there are names na nag-announce na nga ng
Yes.
candidacy, si VP Sara, and there are names na
Yes, many
nagko-float.
names. Yes.
My question is, in 2028, as a Filipino-Chinese,
Yes.
ano yung priorities
Criteria.
nyo o criteria nyo na dapat ipa-prioritize ng kandidato o ng susunod na leader?
Nakausap ko mga matatandang mga businessmen na elders na magaling ang pinaka-wish nila, any leader who will uplift the income and quality of life ng majority ng tao sa
So
Pilipinas.
it's more on the economy.
Pag payamanin ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas, stable ang life ng tao, peace and order is okay.
So next, peace and order.
Poverty alleviation kasi sabi ng mga Chinese na negosyante, hindi pwede ang situation ng Pilipinas na kokonti ang mayaman, kokonti ang vulnerable na middle class, tapos majority naghihikahos, nagsastruggle, hindi sustainable, wala silang customer. Ang mga pabrika nila, mga tindahan nila, hindi pwedeng araw-araw bentahan, middle class lang tsaka mayayaman. Iilan ng mayayaman sa Pilipinas, yun ang bibentahan mo forever. Hindi ka magiging world-class tycoon.
Yeah.
Magiging world-class tycoon ka lang, magiging mayaman ng mga negosyante kung lahat ng Pilipinas ay magiging middle class and ang poverty is minimized. Kung if we don't minimize and alleviate poverty forever, ano tayo magiging unequal
Okay.
society.
So you mentioned one is economy, two
Economy,
is peace and order,
peace and order,
three is
political
poverty
alleviation. Very
That's
important.
the top three priorities na tinitingnan nyo sa mga kandidato.
Anybody who can deliver on these three,
Or at least promise muna.
a promise will be good for the country. Hindi pwedeng and family lang ang
So
yaman.
foreign policy is not...
Foreign policy sana will be stable. Sana. Sana do not politicize foreign policy. Every government nagsiswing left and right.
Should promote independent foreign policy.
We should have genuine foreign policy na independent. Genuine independent foreign policy which is enshrined in the Philippine Constitution.
Yeah.
Ang problema, we are not reinforcing true independent foreign policy. We should do it the ASEAN style.
Yeah.
Huwag na tayong mag-imbento. Kung anong ginagawa ng Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and Vietnam, gayahin natin. And it's working for all the ASEAN countries.
Yeah. Vietnam is the best example of flexible diplomacy.
Vietnam is very good friend of USA, very good friend of Japan, good friend of Russia, good friend of China, good friend of Japan. Walang kahit isa kaaway. Tapos because of that,
May kaaway sila sa teritoryo pagdating sa China.
Pilipinas and China and Malaysia, lahat.
Yeah, but
they occupy the most islands.
I mean, even if they have a conflict with China sa teritoryo,
pero hindi sila
sila sa
hindi sila
side.
nakikipagsigawan, hindi sila nakikipagtalunan in public. It's all diplomats working behind the scenes.
Yeah, they're not.
It's all diplomats.
They're not using megaphone diplomacy to
Never.
counter or to address the problem.
Kasi megaphone diplomacy might bring headlines to the politicians, short-term publicity, pero harmful for the international image of the whole country.
Yeah.
Harmful for tourism. Every time nalulungkot ako, every time may politician engaging in histrionics and megaphone diplomacy, nasisira ang imahe ng Pilipinas for tourism, for foreign investment. Nalulungkot ako.
Hindi lang yun, sir. Hindi lang nasisira ang imahe ng Pilipinas.
Natatakot
We
mga
are
investors.
losing the opportunity
Yes.
to repair our relationship with our neighbors.
Yes.
Right?
Even our ASEAN countries are concerned.
Yeah. Hindi
It will
sila
affect-
direktang
It will affect the whole ASEAN image also. Kasi kung ang Pilipinas is embroiled in a conflict with any major power or any country, apektado buong ASEAN image of stability.
Yeah.
Kasi ASEAN isa whole region, hindi pwede may magulo.
Yeah.
Like Myanmar, every time na may gulo sa Myanmar, every country in ASEAN is affected.
Yeah.
It's bad for us.
We are
We are a basket We are a complete basket or isang pool tayo, ASEAN branding. ASEAN branding tayo.
And ASEAN is dreaming or aiming of
Consensus,
one
stability.
market, one
Yes.
community.
One thriving economy.
Yeah. So, kapag bagsak ang isa, mahirap yan.
Yes.
Di ba nangarap ang ASEAN na magkaroon ng single monetary system?
And single common market.
Yes.
And wala na nga tayong visa, di ba?
Kaya
All
nga,
countries.
So, sayang yan. It's an opportunity na Parang, hindi pwedeng naipag-iiwanan ng isa. Sabay-sabay
Yes.
tayong magta-thrive
Hindi
as
lang
our region.
Tama ka, bullseye ka, JB. Not only that, magaling si JB. Maganda sinasabi mong point, JB. ASEAN also is one of the last remaining economies in the world
Yes.
that is dynamic and fast-growing.
Yes.
Europe is not growing fast. America is anemic economic growth. All the other regions, question mark. ASEAN
is solid.
And East Asia na lang ang natitira na fastest growing economy on earth.
If I'm not mistaken, ASEAN composes 30% of the
world economy or
world
population.
economy.
And not only that, we are one of the growth drivers of the world economy.
Yes.
And what's the reason? No instability, no conflict for the past decades. Relative stability. Kung walang stability, kung may conflict, kung may megaphone diplomacy, kung may away non-stop, kahit away bunganga lang, away salita lang, it will destabilize our image.
Yeah. Tama yan, sir.
Economy hates instability. Economy hates uncertainty. Ang problema sa kalungkot, yung mga politiko natin mahilig maging aktor. Pumasok na lang sila sa showbiz. Doon na sila magsigawan, magtapon ng basura against each other. We need, tingnan mo Singapore, the wealthiest country in ASEAN, ang politika nila is the most boring. The most boring politics in ASEAN is Singapore. Everything nakatutok sa economy, financial stability, wealth creation, wealth preservation. Ang Singapore now is the Switzerland of ASEAN and Asia. Lahat ng mayaman, natatakot pag may gulo sa Pilipinas, pag may gulo sa Indonesia, lahat ng tayo naglalagay ng pera sa Singapore kasi walang gulo, hindi magulo. Hindi sila nangaaway ng ibang bansa kahit na may conflict, kahit may alitan, quiet behind the scenes, diplomatic negotiation.
Correct.
Hindi kailangan headline-grabbing news.
Alam mo kapag nanonood ka ako ng Channel News Asia, which is a regional media based in Singapore.
Hindi puro toxic politics.
Mo puro policy. Wow. Para siyang ano yung sa US.
Puro focus sa economy, livelihood, culture.
Very intelligent yung media conversation, yung discourse.
Hindi away politika.
They're not talking about political, personal dramas. Diba?
Sa atin dito, ang politika is so toxic locally and pati foreign policy. Pati foreign policy ginawang toxic ang politics.
Anyway,
naging moro-moro.
Ang dami pa natin gustong pag-usapan.
Yes.
Ang dami ko pang gustong itanong, sir. That's why
you have to come back again.
To have another episode with you in Binondo.
Yes.
Let's do it in Binondo.
Let's look for a nice restaurant there. Doon tayo. Mag-tour tayo and then eat.
Yes. Sir, last question.
Yes.
Let's close this episode with this question.
Yes.
Because Chinese New Year.
Yes, Chinese New Year.
If the Filipino-Chinese story were told through one table of food, pancit, tikoy, hopya, siomay, or any food, no?
Yes.
What does that table say about the Philippines?
Number one, it tells you that the Philippines is a friendly, hospitable, and good society, welcoming. We are the most welcoming nation in Asia, I think. That's why yan ang strength ng Pilipino, cosmopolitan, open-minded. Hindi totoo yung nakikita natin na may politiko na maingay, nakikipag-away with foreign countries. Hindi yan ang Pilipinas. Ang totoong Pilipinas, we are open to everyone. We are the most cosmopolitan country in ASEAN. That is why Filipinos are everywhere in the world. That is why Filipinos can adjust to any country in the world. That's why favorite ang Pilipino in Hong Kong, Singapore, Middle East, and Europe because we are the most friendly, hospitable, and the Chinese food in the Philippines na naging Pilipino na. Hindi pwede sabihin ng tao ang hopya is Chinese. It's already Filipino with Chinese roots. Ang hopya is Filipino food with Chinese heritage.
Yung lechon.
Ang lumpia is also lechon maybe local Filipino or Chinese
Spanish.
Or Spanish.
Kasi cochinillo, di ba?
Yes. Pero yung Chinese food in the Philippines shows you that welcome nature ng Filipino culture. Yun hospitality is historic na hindi na-erase ng Kastila. Hindi na-erase ang friendliness by nature ng Filipino culture. We are even more open than Japan. Japan yan ang weakness nila. They're very close. Hindi sila marunong mag-English. Very anti-immigrant sila in general. Talo sila sa Koreano and Chinese pagdating sa adaptation of English. Mas magaling ang Koreano and Chinese sa English kaysa Japanese na average, di ba? Pero ang Pilipinas, we are very adaptable. The nature of the Philippines, yun ang strength natin. Dapat tayo number one tourism destination in Asia. Tayo dapat ang France and Italy and Spain ng Asia. We have the weather, we have the culture, and the long presence of the Chinese community in the Philippines is proof that the Philippines is the friendliest country in Asia.
To sum it up, ito yung lagi sinasabi ng mga presidente. Every time they go abroad to pitch the Philippines, we are open. We are open
but
business.
I hope I hope our policies will be as open also.
Yeah.
Tinatalo na tayo ng Vietnam and other countries.
Yes.
In openness, shockingly, Vietnam is socialist daw in name.
Yes.
But they are more capitalist in foreign investment incentives and policies. And kanino sila kumokopya?
China.
Everything na ginagawa ng Vietnam in the past 10, 20 years, everything is similar to what's happened to China 50 years, 40 years ago. Everything. Politics, social policy, labor, poverty alleviation, everything. We should be open also.
Yeah.
We are open culturally. We are open as a friendly nation.
Yeah.
Sana government can catch up, can be similarly open.
We have to be open economically.
Yes, and friendly.
Bring more investors, foreign direct investors.
And compete with our ASEAN neighbors
Be competitive.
in foreign investment, in exports, not in politics.
Yes.
Not in political noise.
Yeah, correct.
We should hopefully
minimize yung
minimize instability sa foreign policy and domestic politics.
Yeah.
Harmony. Pag walang election, puro away politika.
Totoo.
Hindi naman araw-araw election season eh. Bakit araw-araw nasa headline political squabble?
Sana matapos na yan.
Yes, sana.
Sana matapos yan. I mean, in 2 years, we're going to have our a national election.
But it's
again.
already looking like
Yes.
election season every day now.
So sana
Political jockeying.
Nakakapagod na yung politika. Magbabasa, manonood, mag-ano ka sa SOCMED. Puro politika pinag-uusapan.
Yun nga eh.
Sana matapos
Sana
na tayo
hanap buhay
doon.
pinag-usapan.
Yeah, let's talk about progress. Let's talk
Tourism.
about growth. Let's talk about the positive side of the Philippines.
Yes, and improve the lives of the people.
Can the different groups, DDS, Pinklawans, Marcos loyalists,
Sana political moratorium until election season.
yeah, can we unite? At least sometimes man lang sa isang
Yes.
isang linggo na magkaisa tayo na pag-usapan yung mga positibong bagay.
Mag-consensus sana on economic development.
Yeah, correct. Totoo yun. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much,
again
JB.
for
Thank you
joining
again.
me, ha?
And congratulations. Alam mo, I want to congratulate you. You are a very good interviewer. You are a former great journalist ng TV5. Ang daming tuwang-tuwa sa channel mo.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
sir. Sana po magtuloy-tuloy
Yes.
pa po ang iyong suporta, mga kaibigan.
Thank you very much.
At Sir Wilson,
Thank you. Wilson lang. Yes.
Sama ulit tayo. Let's do
Yes.
a tour in Binondo. We
Yes.
promise that because I'm sure ang dami kong mga kaibigan, mga Filipino-Chinese.
Nakakatuwa.
They're all inviting me to visit Binondo, to tour around Binondo.
And eat there.
And eat there, of course. Ang dami nagsasabi ng maraming mga underrated
Marami.
restaurants in Binondo.
Hindi lang yung mga sikat na the usual ones. Ang
Yeah.
daming mga low-key.
Yes. So, sir, i-tour mo kami.
Yes.
Dahil ikaw
makikitour din ako kasi magre-research ako. Kasi I grew up in Tondo part eh.
So you're
I will tour you in Tondo next time.
Sige, sir.
may-
Hindi pa ako nakapunta ng Tondo.
Ang Tondo naman, hindi siya sa food, sa history. Magugulat ka ha. Tondo is one of the most historic places in the Philippines. Akala ng mga tao pag sinabi mo Tondo, squatter lang.
Yeah.
Tsaka gang violence.
Opo.
Yung mga asyong salonga.
Hindi po.
alam ng maraming tao, Tondo is the place for poets, heroes,
Wow.
and playwrights, and illustrious great heroes. Ang Tondo.
Okay.
Not because I grew up there.
Thank you, sir. Sir
Thank you,
Wilson.
thank you,
May
JP.
pupuntahan po na, Sir Wilson.
Yes, thank you very much, JB.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you po.